Welcome to A.L.O.F.A.S, which stands for Arts, Love, Outreach, Family, Adversity, Success. I will be interviewing Dacia from American Samoa. This is your host, Molly, the philosopher. Hello for lava, Dacia. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm doing well. Just getting off of school. Can you give the people a quick bio of yourself?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Dacia Turituri. I go by afakasi on my social media, and I currently live in American Samoa. I've been here for about 4 years, doing life here and helping out family. I originally came out to American Samoa, to take care of family, and I ended up just staying here. So I am a admission coordinator for a university in American Samoa, and I also am a poet, a singer, an artist, a local artist. So that's a little tidbit on me.
What is it that you love about being an afakasi mixed woman?
I love every part of it. I don't think there's anything special about being afakasi or all of something or half of something, but it does open up. My favorite thing about it is it opens up a different perspective that many people who don't have my experience doesn't see. You get to see all the intricacies within the culture, especially in how we treat one another. Being how I look, sometimes I get treated worse or treated better, but I enjoy looking at the different perspectives that come with being who I am when I'm in a given environment.
What do you think about the people of American Samoa unable to have U.S. citizenship?
It's a very sticky situation because American Samoans are very prideful people. They're proud of their culture, proud of their traditions, all of those things. And being a full citizen would have to compromise that. Yes, Samoans have worked hard to be citizens. We pump out the most military people that go into the U.S. We provide a lot of things to the U.S. and we deserve to have that citizenship. But with citizenship, we might lose our land, we might lose our structure of government, we might lose certain traditions that being a full citizen and under the American government, we wouldn't be able to practice. But in my opinion, we're nationalized people, like we're nationals. So we could do a lot under that title, just certain things like getting a job in America might prove difficult. But I like the status how we are now, to be very honest.
Okay. Because I understand what you're talking about. I feel that you don't want us to end up like Hawaii to lose everything,
Right. But then even that Hawaii was different. Hawaii was basically legally annexed, and they say, and that's why the Native Hawaiians in Hawaii have the feelings they have. Tourists and other people who are outside of the Hawaiian culture look at those Native Hawaiians who speak out against them as being hostile or not being hospitable, but they're really living on a land that was taken from them. American Samoans, our forefathers signed a deed agreeing to be part of the U.S. in a certain capacity. So what Samoans can do is not ask for citizenship, it's just ask America to make good on a promise they made when they signed that deed.
Okay. That's great to know. What type of foods do you like to eat?
Everything I can't find on island, basically. Like, pupusas, I can't find pupusas here on island. Like, a Chicago beef
Okay. Do you love poetry and spoken word?
That's my life. Whatever I go through, whether it be I'm super angry or I'm super in love or super happy, like I will always go to poetry. If you follow me on my Facebook or in any of my social media, you will see a lot of poetic language or a lot of poetry pieces on my pages because that's just how I can deal with life or just explain how I live my life to people around me.
I got a question though. Are there any open mics in American Samoa?
There's there's one, and it's put on by Tamiano Kerr, who's a young cat who's from here, and he came with a heart for the youth and the arts, and he opened this little space for people to come and express themselves monthly. It was a monthly open mic. It hasn't been up as of late, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be back up again. But it was a wonderful place to just have people express themselves free of judgment, free of pressure. Um, and I really commend Tatiana for doing that.
Yeah, that's great. That's great to know because we need that on open mic. Because we know with our culture, the Samoan culture, Fa Samoa, you don't get to speak out as much. To your parents. You know what I mean? Like that's just my experience. So I feel that it's great to have things like that so the kids could have a way of expressing themselves. Because we know Samoa is like a high rate of suicide too.
I totally agree with you. I agree with you. The way we raise our children in Samoa, or as the Samoan raising children, we were always stressed the hierarchy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You put your parents and your elders up here, and the kids are down here. And no, it's not like we don't respect children or we don't care for them. It's just, when you're in Samoan culture, you're kind of raised to be like a soldier. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. You're there. That's it. And for us to speak out against something or go against somebody's wishes is really looked down upon. So children tend to grow up without having an outlet to express themselves. And that could lead to a higher rate of depression, even suicide, because they don't know how to deal with their feelings. And the reason why I love poetry and spoken word and other art forms is because it gives people that outlet. It gives them something to let out their anger or their sadness so they don't have to focus on drinking or drugs or, turning to things like suicide.
Yeah, you're right about that because I also feel that the way that we're raised as men and women too, like our cultures, like you gotta be tough, like especially the guys, they don't, you don't want to show any weakness, and I feel that affects also relationships, with a significant other, to where they don't know how to express themselves, so it ends up having like a physical abuse, I may say.
That's a big thing for me. It's a huge thing for me. I actually feel like our male or our men are underserved in the fact that we always stress to be hard. We always stress for them to be hard in society, in the village, in the church, in their families, and then in relationships be hard. But there are times where males or men in our culture need to, mourn, cry, and be weak and be vulnerable. But that's just very much looked down upon. So I've always noticed that Samoan men are more comfortable with Samoan men than they are with Samoan women, saying in and expressing themselves. But that cross communication needs to happen if we want better homes, better relationships, and ultimately better children when they grow up.
Yeah, you're right about that. How do you feel about the Prime Minister of Samoa?
He is a very particular man. That's the nicest way I could put it. He's he is unique. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't have a high opinion of him, especially after the things he said about his country.
Oh, man.
Saying that there was no poverty in Samoa. Like, I've been to Samoa. My dad's side is from Moka, you know, and when I've been there, I see people on the streets just selling, you know, body pins, Q-tips, brutality, you know what I mean, on the street. And they're little kids, and they're just trying to make a dime to eat. But for a prime minister to say that their country doesn't have poverty is reckless to me. And it just shows how distorted his view is of the country. So I just don't have a very high opinion of him, especially when that thing happened when the prisoner escaped and then raped the Australian tourist.
Oh, man, I remember that.
And, you know, if you watch the interview on that, he tried to skate by, trying to say that's one incident. This is one time. But, you know, I've covered all the crime that happens there, and sexual abuse is high. It's high here in American Samoa, and it's high over there, too. But he just has a very distorted view, and because of that, I just don't agree with him most of the time. He may be a great person, but due to his views and the position he's in, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, you know, I remember going there with my mom like a couple of years ago, being there for half a year. I see kids just selling fans or selling like that Yesy or anything, you know, selling whatever they can just to survive. And they'll go like the whole day, even the night doing that. And I've heard like stories too where like these fathers rape their own stepdaughter or their biological daughter. Or it's crazy, you know?
It's very sad.
So, what would you do if you won $1 million today?
I won $1 million today.
Yes.
I'd pay off all my student loans. I'm not even gonna lie. Obama has been calling me for that student loan. I think it's more valuable to be debt free than it is to have all the money in the world. Without debt, you are truly able to do whatever you want. So if I won $1 million, I would pay off my student loan. No mansion, no car, just pay off that debt. Because owing somebody something, it creates a time obligation. So I want to cut those ties.
Yeah, I understand. You know, myself being in debt, owing these payday loans and all this other stuff. So I understand. I would have done the same thing if I won $1 million today too. So, what will be your solution for worldwide poverty?
That's a tough question. For me, I believe if you want to change the world, change your home. I can't change anything that's happening in Sudan or, you know what I mean, in China. I can't do those things. But if we all feed and clothe people in our vicinity, help the people that we see every day, help the people you pass on your road to go to work every day, that will help with worldwide poverty. If we have more than we need, give that to somebody you know who's struggling. If we do that, that will help worldwide poverty. But what we see is, especially in our American culture, it's always good to have more, hoard in more. You want your supersized fries, get your supersized fries. It's always about consuming more.
You're
if
right.
we live if we live on what we need just to live and enjoy life and give the rest away that we don't need, that would help so much, causing effect in our own communities. But like, I don't understand why people have to travel somewhere else to feed the poor or feed the needy. We have them in our own communities.
Amen, sister. You're right about that. This American culture, you can tell. You look at it every day. You got these buffets where it's like massive amounts of food. Or you see these rappers, you know, they flossing the Mercedes. They flossing the women. It's like 20, 30 women on a video. And they not even real women. They just a bunch of rental models. Or, you know, they try to lure us in that. You got to need more, get greedy, you know. I understand your point right there. So, how's your experience living in American Samoa?
It's been a process. first coming here, well, especially coming from California to Samoa, there's a lot of adjustment that needs to happen. Things slow down dramatically. Like, I was used to getting things instantaneously. If I want it, I got it. Here, it's a, it's a very slow process. And you have to deal with people. You know what I mean? Like, in California, I could just order something on the phone or on the computer or do everything I need from my home. But out here, you have to interact with people, and it's so important to know the language and the nuances of the culture in order to get things done. So my first couple of years, I was kind of frustrated because it was just like, I don't know this. Why are my papers being processed fast enough? But now, because I know more and I'm more aware of the system that goes on, it's okay. It's good living out here to a certain extent.
It's nice and relaxing, huh? Stress free.
No. It is not stress free.
Que le fa lave, huh?
Yeah. Exactly. The fa lave left and right. Things like that. And most of the people on island live below the poverty line. So, it's a lot of stress. Some people live paycheck to paycheck, work 2 jobs, still can't pay off stuff. But I don't know. It's something about Samoa and the community here. Though we're struggling, though we go through certain things, it's still good. That's not our life. Our life is not the struggle. Our life is our family and our loved ones around us.
How do you feel about the police brutality of black people?
I'm enraged, to be very honest. A heart of an activist, being half black and Samoan, it attacks me on both sides. Because the black community and Samoan community are damn near the same.
Yeah, it is.
When Samoans from here move to the States, they usually move into neighborhoods that are occupied by the black community. So their struggles are basically the same. But it's hard for me to be here in Samoa and watch it happening in my state because I want to be there. I want to rally. I want to be there because we don't experience that in American Samoa. You could say whatever you want about American Samoa, how, they're not doing enough for the people, serving enough for the people, but I've never heard of police, killing people out here. Or being, just being corrupt like that. But it's nothing new. I'll say that. The black community has been discriminated against by the police since forever. It's just now being brought to light since we have access to social media, more people have more phones and things like that, posting more videos. If they never posted it, it wouldn't even be in our minds to think that something's going on. But the black community is not the only community that's been brutalized by the police. You have the Native Americans. You have the Asian community has been discriminated against. Like, the police structure in general is just one that is power hungry, and they're getting a little bit too power hungry. And I'm really angry about it.
Yeah, I understand completely. Me, of course, I have a black girlfriend who I'm most likely going to marry in the near future. Also, being a Samoan here in America, it's like the same thing as being black. If they see me wear a hoodie, they'll shoot me too. You know what I mean? Like, it won't matter. They don't care. As long as you're brown, they're going to shoot you, I just feel that there's a lot of white supremacy involved. It's been going on forever, like you said. It's nothing new. It just so happens we got this, way to communicate through the social media and stuff like that. But, I always try my best, to make a difference, going to school and joining clubs like the Black Student Union, which I'm on. I'm also in, other clubs, the InterVarsity Christian Fellowship. I pray for them people. I pray for all of us, for what's going on, because it's tough out here. And I study books, and I try to learn about our history as well as being Samoan and Polynesian too, to where I didn't know we were slaves and them explorers came. We were the original navigators and things like that.
That's profound. Like, to be a Samoan and join Black student unions and just join different ethnic organizations, that's great because it starts building bridges between cultures. The more we connect with others, the more we communicate with others, the more you'll see we're alike. And there's no differences, basically. The only difference is in our food, really, if we look at it. But every culture has that mom, that dad. Every culture has that sense of respect, and I've learned that a lot by coming in contact with different people, and I respect that a lot. What's difficult, especially being like a Black Lives Matter activist, or being someone who's down to rally for different ethnic organizations and their causes. Being in Samoa, it's hard to do that. It is very hard to do that. It was funny when I heard Samoans, people that, look like me, sound like me, saying a narrative that didn't belong to us. Acting as, like you said, with that elitist white supremacy type narrative in their mouths was kind of weird to me. And I'm sitting here like, okay, you're speaking like this, but if you go to America, they're not going to treat you like that.
No way.
They're not going to say, oh, he's on our team. No, you're going to be treated just like how I am and other people are going to be treated like, and you're going to have a very strong reaction, negative reaction to that. But it's hard to break people with that colonial mentality, that colonized mentality. And I hear that a lot. And that's basically why I'm here in American Samoa. Aside from taking care of my family, my job is to break that illusion from certain people on island.
Yeah.
To just break those chains of mental slavery. We need to look outside of our coconuts and see that there's a bigger world out
right,
there.
Though,
This bubble of the island is very attractive. It is. But I've come in contact a lot, especially during this time of police brutality and this whole Trump and Hillary election. Just hearing Samoans speak in a way that's just so foreign to me, as if they're the elite ones, they're the ones that hold the majority of power. It's just, it's very concerning. It still is.
Yeah, I write, my poetry, I wrote about those kind of things. I wrote a poem called Europeans Ruined This World in my book that I released in June. I wrote a poem. I rarely read it, at open mics, but I wrote that. And I wrote a one called Trump Hitler. I rarely read that. I don't read that one either.
That's the heavy stuff. Trump Hitler and Europeans ruin everything.
Yeah, Europeans ruined this world. I got my book right here. You want to hear it?
I mean, if you're down to read it.
Yeah, I'll read on one of them. I won't read on Europeans Ruined This World right now.
Okay.
I just got to turn the page right now. Find it. Here we go. It's called Europeans Ruined This World. These people are like a virus, a cancer, always willing to invade, to conquer, to drain the life of every civilization out there in the world, robbing the Africans of their people, music, arts, culture, wealth, and resources, then claiming it to be their own. Like, really? Talking about they invented rock and roll, saying it's their music, when Chuck Berry is the godfather of rock and roll. Then also want to go to tiny Polynesian islands, enslave the Polynesians as well in the blackbirding with the African slaves, calling the Polynesians tropical niggas, as they also came to the Polynesian islands, amazed at the boats and ships. Made by the Polynesians, who are the true navigators of the world, who went to the Americas way before Columbus. Yet, they want to say they built the ships and are the navigators. Please, stop it. Then come to a land they claim to have discovered, but already had people living in it. That's why they were called Native Americans, not Indians. Then came as sweet people claiming to give thanks. In this day, they call Thanksgiving, where they learned how to live on the land, thanks to the Native Americans. But then, as they always do, they conquer another land, steal their wealth, destroy their culture, kill them, and then claim to be the forefathers of the land. Damn. These people aren't innovative because they take from all civilizations, then say it's theirs. They are thieves because they steal all the gold, silver, oil, and other resources from them. They are also murderers, as they kill mass populations and genocide of the Africans, Polynesians, Native Americans, and whoever and wherever else. These people are like big leeches, ready to suck your soul dry. So we all need to unite, break from the chains of this oppression we live in, and exterminate this disease, to execute it and kill it till it goes extinct. Thank you.
Wow. That's heavy stuff.
Yeah, man. That's from my book on the Diary of a Mad Uso. It's on Amazon and CreateSpace. $15. Those who are interested. Yeah, man.
That's a lot. I'm glad you mentioned blackbirding, because not too many people know what blackbirding is, or know the history of blackbirding in the Polynesians. But that's a heavy poem there.
Yeah, I'm a geek, at heart. Like, I always been a geek. I just like when I was with my Usos, during middle school and high school, I used to hide it, you always try to be cool. I was trying to be cool, and I didn't want them to know I was just in the library all the time, reading books and all this stuff.
That's a true pressure. And that's also part of why I'm here too. I run a free tutoring session or center out of my house for the kids in my village, and part of me is having them, or part of me being there is having them realize, like, it's okay to read, it's okay to know certain things. And I always tell my kids, I will never laugh at you, I will never, try to embarrass you if you don't know a word or if you say a word wrong, because we're here to just learn and be free to learn. And I found that when I was young too. When I was growing up, like, people were like, "Why are you always writing? Why are you always reading for? Like, let's go play basketball. Let's go do something else."
I know her.
But, I'm, for people who are not going to benefit off of basketball or something else in the future, to be very real, writing and reading got me to where I am today
Oh
in terms
yeah.
of being employed, working with certain people. So for those people who tell other kids like, "Oh, don't read, don't write," well, you trying to be a behind, you trying to be smarter than us. Like we were raised to be better than where we are. So let's act better than where we are. It doesn't matter where you come from or who you come from. It's what you do with the potential you have. And if that potential means you're gonna be like a geek at research, do a geek at research. Research like you do the research Super Bowl and you're gonna be there. Like if you're a geek at reading and writing, do that too. But yeah, we need to spread that in our Polynesian culture. It's like it's okay to be an academic and grow in academia.
Yeah, you're right about that. Our coach, our young people always want to, do things like football or sports. That's good and all, but what happens if you sprain your ankle or, you come with a career-ending injury? These are the basic necessities we need is writing and reading.
Yeah, I agree. And right now I see kids that I tutor kids that are like 10 or 11 years old. They can't spell the word name, and it breaks my heart because I feel like our system here is letting kids down. I don't want to totally blame teachers because there are some teachers on this island that are wonderful people and they have a heart for children, but some educators are letting down our kids, calling them stupid or they have a learning disability, and all they need is a little bit of attention, just a little bit more of attention. And I feel bad. It's a cycle. I mean, if you don't pay your teachers enough or what they deserve, or they don't want to do their jobs, and if they don't want to do their jobs, then their kids don't learn. But the cycle keeps going round and round until we break it by either compensating teachers for this, what they need to be compensated for, or spending just a little bit more time with our students.
Yeah. What are your artistic talents?
I write poetry. I write and play my own music as well. I sing. Um, I paint and I draw. I do a lot. I'm into anything actually. Anything I could practice and learn. Like I'm into all of it. Um, Not so much in the dancing though. I can dance. You know what I mean? But yeah, those are what I'm mainly into is writing poetry and singing and playing my own ukulele.
Yeah, me, I'm a spoken word artist. I love poetry, and I never thought it would go this far. At first, I just wrote that just to get at girls when I was young. I didn't think, I didn't think I'd have a published book and all this stuff going on with the book signing next month. I didn't know it was go this far.
That is wonderful. Maybe I'll get on your status soon. Sometime this lifetime.
So, how do you feel about the Polynesian community being represented here in America?
I mean, we have all the representatives in the world. To be honest, it's who we choose to be a rep for us is my concern. There's a lot of negative stereotypes for being, like, just for me as a Samoan, like, there's always a negative stereotype for being big and slow and this and this and that. But that's because we've allowed people to create these stereotypes. And of course, they say to certain stereotypes, there's truth to it. We can be big people, things of that nature, but, it's who we choose to idolize or put on that pedestal as a rep for us. I really am critical of that. We can't just praise certain Samoans just because they're famous. I'm so against that. Just because The Rock is on TV, and don't get me wrong, like Rock, what's up? But I'm saying just because somebody has already made it there, we cannot just claim their fame just because they're Samoan.
Yeah.
If we encourage the people who are at the grassroots more, the people that are trying to do positive things within our community, people who are behind the curtains, making sure kids get home safely, make sure kids do their homework, make sure that they're in our churches and teaching the right messages. If we make those people our representatives, if we make those people our idols, our community would go so much further than it is now.
Yeah, you're right about that. We don't need to be famous or anything like that, but that's not a bad thing if you do it the right way, But it's like that old saying, it takes a village to raise a kid, like you're talking about right there,
Mhm. Oh, I'm not saying it's bad to be famous. No, they're famous for a reason. You know what I mean? Especially if it's for the right thing. I'm just saying, like, for most Samoans, like, and that's in my experience. I'm not, the Samoans I've come across, we only want to support them when they've made it.
Yeah, that's true,
so
though.
We don't want to support them as they're going.
Yeah, that's true, though. You see people like Troy Polamalu, everybody like, oh, man, what's that other guy, Peyton Siva? They're like, oh, that's my cousin. That's my cousin. Like, your cousin.
Yeah, we all somebody's cousin when we make it. We all somebody's cousin.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, like, if we want to eat the fruit of the tree, we gotta be willing to plant seeds. Period.
Sure, I got one more question. It's gonna be the last one, and I gotta close the show. It was great having you on here. I really appreciate it, Dacia, man. You took your time all the way out there, like, man. This last question is what is your inspiration, and also what is your message to the youth?
My inspiration is art. I get a lot of insight by looking at other people's art. That's why I'm always, in contact with people like yourself who write and pump out this art that just makes us think. My main message to the youth is don't stop. No matter who comes and tries to pull you down and tries to make you fit into a mold that you don't fit into, don't stop being you. A lot of things you're going to come into contact with that tries to make you act outside of your nature is going to create stress, and stress is going to kill you. So be uniquely you. People don't know what they're going to want until they see it, and people are not going to affirm what you are, who you are at this current moment until they see you make it and do it. So just be you.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. I would like to thank Dacia for accepting my invite to interview on our podcast, A.L.O.F.A.S, which is arts, love, outreach, family, adversity, and success. Thank you. God bless.
This life is so